Hi guys, my name is Becca and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am so excited. I'm filming my April TBR. This is going to be the best month. So many amazing books are coming out in April. Game of Thrones is back in April for its final season. Infinity War Endgame is out this month. There's just so many good things about April and I am so excited. It's going to be great. I am participating in 2 readathons. I have so many books next to me. Believe me, it's going to be a busy month for me, but I am really excited for it. So let's just dive in to what I plan on reading in April. So first let's talk about the new releases coming out this month. I think there's 5. Or wait, is there 4 or 5? I think 4. Okay. I think it's 4. 1 for each week. Okay. I'm struggling trying to figure out what is actually coming out. April 2nd is The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston, the companion / sequel to Gigarella, which I really loved last year and I can't wait for the newest installment in the series. It's gonna be great. I'm excited for it. Then April 9th is probably one of the most anticipated releases coming out for me. And that is The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. It's all Magnus and Alec. It's their book. It's their series. They are finally the main characters of a series. Like, The Bane Chronicles was fine. There were some really good stories in that novella, or that novella bind-up, but I didn't love it as much as I wanted to, especially since Magnus is my favorite character, and Magnus and Alec are my favorite ship of the entire series. And I'm just like, this didn't do them justice. It really didn't. And hopefully, Red Scrolls of Magic is gonna be the best. I'm holding out hope for it. I think it's gonna be amazing. And it better be amazing. I can't wait. I think is it April 15th or sometime that week. The 3rd week is Serious Moonlight by Jen Bennett. She's quickly becoming one of my favorite contemporary authors. I really love her books, and I think she has other books, but I'm just focusing on her contemporaries. There's one I haven't read, which is her first contemporary, I believe. Don't hold me. Yeah, I don't know if that is actually true, but The Anatomical Shape of a Heart, I think, was like her debut contemporary, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know if I am. But it's the only one I haven't read that I know of, other than, of course, Serious Moonlight, which is coming out in like 3 weeks. I can't wait. And then the last one comes out on April 30th, and that is Arusha and the Song of Death, which is the sequel to Arusha and the End of Time by Rashai Chokshi, in her Indian mythology middle grade series, and I really enjoyed Arusha and the End of Time. I can't wait for the sequel. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great month. It really is. I'm excited. I really am. Okay, so alright, so before we talk about some of the books I'm planning on reading, other than those, let's talk about what I got. So I've shown this in a book haul. I haven't posted it yet, so you have no idea what I'm talking about. But this is a Readathon journal. It's a fandom. Sorry, I have books falling. It's a fandom edition Readathon journal. It's the first one that I know of from this company. I want to say it's Ampersand Book Covers, because that's their website, and I'm really hoping. It's ampersandbookcovers.com. And this is just a book nerd Readathon journal fandom edition volume 1. And it says, "I became darkness and shadow and wind." And if you don't know what that is, it's a quote from Akamath. I love it. And it's got like these really awesome like vine type art, and that just screams ACOTAR. I did it again. Is it ever a video with me if I don't drop books? Is it? Yeah, you just got to see my messy bookshelves. Great. I've done my best to clean them, okay? I've done my best, but they just end up getting really messy anyway, so I do what I can. But what I really like about this one, because I do have the one from Owl Crate, but I feel like the one from Owl Crate is just really small, and it doesn't give you a whole lot of space to write. And what I love about this one is that it does that for you. So, we have, I'm just gonna drop everything, I swear. We have the first page, which has title, author, series name, and book number in the series. And then you can check off if it's young adult, new adult, or adult. Though my one critique about this is like, hey, what if the books that I'm writing down here aren't either one of those? What if it's middle grade? Just saying. But I can always cross off and write middle grade. Or, you know, if I ever read a nonfiction. I don't read nonfiction very often, but I do have one I'm planning on reading. So, you get to color in the rating. So, whatever your star rating is, you can color that in. There's genre, first impressions, and then there's four full pages of notes. So, I love that. And then you have a full page of favorite quotes, a full page of things you liked most about the book, and my only other critique, you have half a page for things you didn't like about the book, and the other half for the friends you'd recommend this to. I just feel like the things you didn't like most about the book should also be like a full page, just in case you really didn't like the book. But again, I could just cross off, you know, least and put most, and then do the same vice versa here. So it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, there's so much room to write, and I just feel like it's a little bit better than the Owl Crate one. And when I heard of this from Chelsea Palmer, I had to pick it up. So the reason I'm showing this to you here again, other than my book haul, which you'll see when I end up posting that, which would probably be after this, because I think I'm posting this today. So, the reason I'm showing this to you now, again, is because I plan on actually doing this in April. And I wanted to show this to you and be like, yeah, I'm starting this in April. And I'm like really excited because I've been filling it out myself in a notebook. It's not this notebook, but I mean, I have notebooks for everything. If you didn't know that about me, you do now. I have notebooks for everything. So, yeah. I have another notebook just on my thoughts and everything for the books I'm reading. Sometimes I have a lot of thoughts, sometimes I don't. But it's nice to have that space to write, just in case I do. Okay, alright. So, now we get to talk about the books I'm planning on reading. And we're talking about the books I plan on reading that has nothing to do with the readathons. Which is probably going to be difficult, but you know, it's me, and I don't care. I do really want to read all these, and they don't fit with the readathons, so don't have a choice. First up, we have Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan, the third book in the Percy Jackson series. Now, technically, yes, this could fit for the readathon. Actually, a few of these could fit for the readathon. I have books already fit for the readathons. And I've changed my TBR many times since picking a TBR for it, so I'm not changing them again. But I do have to read this with my brother, be our buddy reading this together. I'm only 100 pages in. I don't think I'm going to finish it before the end of March, because I do have a couple of days left. But it's fine. I'll just finish this sometime in April, when I can somehow fit in the time. And you know, if that wasn't already hard, I also want to fit in Warrior of the Wild by Trisha Levenseller, which has to do with a Viking village and a god. Just saying. It's about a girl who is like heir to the, what is it? She's the chosen heir of the village, so she is meant to lead the village, but after her, what was it? After her coming-of-age trial is sabotaged and she fails the test, her father banishes her to the monster-filled wilderness with an impossible quest to kill the oppressive god who claims tribute from the villages each year or die trying. I love Trisha Levenseller. I thought she did a really great job with her last duology, which is the Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen. And it just seems more up my alley than those. So this should be amazing. And I'm really excited. I'm very excited for this. My only other critique for like this is that this is long. Like, this is big. This is a bigger hardback than her other duology. So when I put those next to each other, they don't match. It's kind of sad. But I'm still really excited to read this. Okay, and then the only other ones for now that I know of that I need to read are the next books in the Dark Hunter series. I almost said Shadowhunter. Dark Hunter series by Sherilyn Kenyon. If you didn't know, over the last few months I have been rereading the first 15 books in the series or something like that, so I can continue on with the series and catch up with it until because I know the newest one, Stygian, just came out, and I really love the series from what I remember reading of them, though I do remember it going downhill by book 15, so that's why I stopped. But I really love this series. I've loved this series for years, and I really think I'm hoping, and I do think that it was just maybe those couple of books that I was reading that I just wasn't liking, and that's fine. And I think now that she's going back to Dark Hunters, because if you didn't know, the series is made up of 3 different segments. There's the Dark Hunters, the Were Hunters, and the Dream Hunters, and every few books there's so it's Dark Hunter, Dark Hunter, Dark Hunter, Were Hunter, Dark Hunter, Dark Hunter, Dream Hunter, Dark Hunter, Dark Hunter, Were Hunter, that kind of thing. It's not at all like that, but I'm just saying that's how it kind of goes, and I do read them in reading order, so I can't just skip Dream Hunters and then go straight back to Dark Hunters. I don't do that. So yeah. So the next few books I have are Dark Side of the Moon, which follows Susan and Raven. This is a Were Hunter one. Then it is the first Dream Hunter, the Dream Hunter. This one follows Arikos and Megara, which I remember really liking this one. I really like this one. So this one should be fine. And then this is where it gets really bad, because I could just stop at these two, because I don't have a whole lot of room to read books other than the Readathon, Readathons. But Devil May Cry follows Sin and Cat, which is one of my favorites of the entire series that I've read so far. I love Cat, and I love Cat and Sin. So it's I want to read this so bad. But this is where it gets really, really tricky. Because some, if you read this, some say the reading order, this is after. So it's Dream Hunter, then Devil May Cry. Some say Upon the Midnight Clear is after Dream Hunter, and then Devil May Cry is after that. So that sucks. And I know this one. This is Lita and Aiden, and I do remember this one. And this is not so bad. This is very, very short. This is only Holiday Gatherings. Oh, there's a holiday one right after that. That's cute. Sorry. This is only 250 pages, and then there's a little short story, little short novella right after that. And then if you, come on, that is huge. That's huge. Let me show you. That's not huge. So, it's I should be able to get through this, really quick. And again, I love this series. And we're still in like the books that I love, so I'm like, I don't want to stop reading them. And I could have like took a break from reading the series, but I didn't want to, especially since I'm so close to one of my favorites. I couldn't do that. Here's another one. I need to also read Dark Bites. Now, I don't need to read the whole. This is just a bind-up of novellas. And there are some that I really need to read that I forgot to pick this up before starting the series. Because there's one that starts it off, and then just it goes from there. And I have it on my phone. Of course, I'm using my phone to film. I have it on my phone, the reading order, and I forgot that I needed to read quite a few novellas before getting to these. Like, before getting to the books that I was getting to. I don't know how many novellas I need to read, but I know there's quite a bit. And here, let me see if it even, here. There's not that many. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. There's 12. And I'm really hoping there's not a whole lot I need to read. Because I know there's quite a few of them in here I do need to read. But like I said, they're like really short. I should be able to get to these. I'm hoping. Oh god, I'm hoping. I need to pick that up like very soon. Okay. Alright. Okay. We're good. Those are all the books that I want to read before, or while I'm reading these other ones. Which, it's not that bad. There's only 13 books here. It should be okay, right? Right? Hopefully. Okay. So, like I said, there's 2 readathons. There is the O.W.L.S Magical Readathon, which is a Harry Potter themed readathon that G over at Book Roast created and hosts. She created it last year, and this is round 2. And it's inspired by the courses or the exams that you take as 5th year students at Hogwarts. There are 12 courses, and there's a prompt for each course. You pick a book for each prompt, and there's no doubling up for this at all. You cannot double up. That is the biggest thing for it. And then this year she made this like gorgeous booklet of all the career paths that you could take. So, like last year, I don't think she really had the career paths really set yet. I think maybe around when, like August, when it was Newt's time, she sort of brought it up. But this year she made a booklet and she made like this whole thing for it. And I will leave her links down below so you can check out the PDF and everything. It's gorgeous. And it definitely helped me to figure out which career paths I want to take. And yes, I am crazy and I'm doing 2. Another thing is that how you do in your owls, how you do with your owls is how you will continue on with your newts. So if you don't pass your owl for herbology, you can't take your newt for herbology. You understand? But now that there's career paths, if you pass the owls for that intended career, you can move on to the newts, which is why I chose 2, because I thought it would just be easier for me. So, to pass the O.W.L.S readathon, a passing is, you must pass with 2 owls, that is the passing. Exceeds expectations is a total of 6 owls, and then an outstanding is 9 or more owls. I'm going for outstanding, just like I did last year. Last year, I was going for all, I didn't have a career path. I don't think there was career paths at the time. And so I was just crazy and wanted to do all 12 so I could move on to the newts. The newts is so much more elaborate and extensive. I can't talk. But it just helped me a lot. Oh, man. There's like, in the newts, there's the same 12 courses, but then there's 3 prompts for each course. And I think it's like, what, a total of 32, 30. I can't do math, okay? I can't do math. So it's over 30 books. I know that. That's not happening. It didn't happen last year, and it's not happening this year. But for the career paths, I will definitely try and do the newts for those. Hopefully, it'll be okay. So again, like I said, I chose 2 career paths. I chose a Hogwarts professor and a healer. We're gonna go over the Hogwarts professor first and what I plan to read for that and what the requirements are and what the courses that I need to take for that career path is, and then we'll go into the healer career path. Okay. Like I said, there's a bunch of other career paths, so if you do decide that you want to participate in this readathon, it's from April 1st to the 30th. It's the entire month of April, and I will leave the link to her videos down below so you can check out the PDF and everything for the readathon. Her announcement videos and stuff. So yeah. Okay. So for a Hogwarts professor, the requirements are that you pick a subject you wish to teach. So one of the courses is going to be your subject you want to teach, and then you just fill that prompt. Then you must complete Defense Against the Dark Arts, and then you choose 5 other courses that you want to complete, which I thought was really easy, especially since once you got to decide which subject you wanted to teach to become a Hogwarts professor, I knew exactly what I wanted to teach, and this is perfect. So, for the subject I wish to teach is History of Magic, because I love history of magic. I love history, I love magic, I just think it's going to be fantastic. And the prompt for History of Magic is to read a book published 10 or more years ago, and so I've decided to choose Warrior Rising by PC Cast. I have reread this book many, many times, and I love this book very much. It's a smutty version of the Trojan War. It's about a woman in, like, modern time, like, not, it was a set 10 years ago, so modern time, she's brought back in time to the Trojan War. She meets Achilles, they fall in love, they're sexy times. It's really great. I love it. I love mythology. I read the Song of Achilles last month, or in March. We're still in March technically, but I read Song of Achilles and I loved it so much. It really made me want to pick this one up again, so I thought it was perfect. I can use this for my prompt for History of Magic. This is gonna be great. I'm already so happy. Alright, next is Defense Against the Dark Arts, and for that prompt, you must read a book that the title starts with the letter R. And the don't, they don't matter. Like, so it could be the whatever, or and whatever, as long as the first actual word starts with R. And if you haven't already guessed what I want to read for this, that would be The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. Yes, for sure. Red starts with R. It's perfect, and I need that book in my hands. I'm definitely getting that the minute it comes out. Okay, so then the 5 I've decided. Oh, and if you haven't already guessed what I'm doing all 12. I'm getting all 12 courses in. So I just chose 5 for this, and I also get to choose in the other ones as well. It's perfect. I'm getting all 12 in. So yeah, the 13 books I have next to me, 12 are for this readathon. Or the 12 books you understand. Okay, so for the ones I've decided out of the 5, the first one is Care of Magical Creatures, and that is to read a book with a land animal on the cover, I believe. Yes. And I have chosen East by Edith Patow. I have no idea how to say her name, and I'm very sorry if I butchered that name. This has a white bear on the cover, so it works perfectly. I had a hard time finding a book for this. I'm not kidding. I am so glad that when I was putting my books away, I saw this, and I'm like, oh, thank God, I have a book for this. And what's perfect is the ebook is on Scribd, so I can read this on my phone whenever I decide to pick it up, and it's perfect. I'm happy. Okay, next up is Astronomy, and the prompt for Astronomy is to read a book with star in the title, and the word star has to be in the title. This one was hard. I had like one book on my TBR, which is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, right? I was going to pick that, but I've decided to pick The Weight of the Stars by Kay Ancrum because I've heard really, really great things about it, and I am currently reading The Wicker King by Kay Ancrum, and I just know The Weight of the Stars is like a future companion to this, so it should be fine. And I'm really enjoying The Wicker King. I'm like 150 pages in, and I'm actually really enjoying it, even though it's a lot different than I'm used to. It's still really, really good, and yeah, I will find The Weight of the Stars somehow, and I will read it, and it will work for that prompt. It'll be perfect. Okay, the next course is Divination. And for Divination, you must read a book set in the future. This is perfect. I have the newest in-depth book with me, and that is Connections in Death by J.D. Robb. I got this from the library, okay? Because you guys know I collect these in mass market, so this is still in hardcover. It's not in mass market yet. It just came out last month, or in February, so. But I got this from the library, and I'm definitely reading this for that. I can't wait to continue on. This is going to be fantastic. I'm really excited. I love this series so much. This and the Dark Hunter series were the two series that I started off, like the two really long extensive series that I started with, and I started like both at the same time. And they just became the two series that I loved the most out of anything, and it was great. So I need to get back with Eve and Rourke and the gang, and this is gonna be great. I'm just so happy. I almost didn't get that from the library. I didn't know if I'd get it in time, and I was really afraid if I didn't. But I did, so I'm really happy. Hopefully, I only have a couple weeks with it, so I'm hoping I can keep it until I'm done. Alright, next up, the course I chose. The next course I chose is Charms, and that is to read an adult read. And I chose the biggest book I have. I'm lying, it's not the biggest book I have. I have books over 1,000 pages. This is only like 800. Right? Yeah, it's like 800 and something pages. Let me tell you, it's not the biggest book I have, but it is the heaviest. What? This one shouldn't be as heavy as it is. I have books a lot bigger than this, and they're not as heavy. But this is heavy. So yeah, an adult read. I chose The Pirate of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I am really excited for this. I've heard really good things. It's a queendom. Or this is a fantasy world where there is a queendom, it's got dragons, and a female-female romance. That's all I know. And that's all I need to know. I'm excited. This is the one that I am like the most nervous to read, but also I'm the most excited to read. I'm just hoping I can read this in time. Oh, that one's big, and I don't think there's an audiobook for it. Was there? I don't think so. I tried to find as many as I could that had audiobooks and ebooks, and so far I'm not doing so great. I got East, and that's an ebook, I know that. Alright, and lastly for Hogwarts Professor, the last course I chose is Arithmancy, and that is to read a book that is written by more than one author, and I chose Unearthed by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This is like a Tomb Raider meets Temple Run meets Indiana Jones, right? Set in space. This I found an audiobook, so hey, I also found the sequel on audiobook on Script, so that should be fine. Also, I just feel like it's kind of tiny, but this should be okay. I'm hoping I really like it. It's a sci-fi. I'm not too big on sci-fi, but I'm hoping to love it, so it should be fine, right? This should be fine. I don't really know too much about it either, other than what I just told you. Okay, so that is it for Hogwarts Professor. Now I have my healer career path to move on to. Okay, so for the requirements, the actual required courses you must take before choosing 3 of your own, The 5 are herbology, which is to read a book with, like, some plants on the cover, some kind of plants. And I chose A Curse of Dark and Lonely by Richard Kemmerer. This has, like, you see, it's like trees, and then there's some kind of, like, plants on it. I thought it worked perfectly. This is a modern day Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I don't know what to tell you, I'm really excited for this. I picked this up last month, and I was enjoying it, but I wasn't in the right mood for it, so I had to put it down. I got like 50 pages in, but I am really excited to get back into it, and I think I'm really gonna love it. Though I've heard really mixed things about it since putting it down. I'm really upset about that. When I first picked it up, there was nothing but amazing things about it. And since putting it down, I've heard a few people say they didn't like it. And I'm just like, I hope I love it. I just hope I love it. I mean, it's a modern day Beauty and the Beast retelling. And it's with a prince who becomes a beast, obviously, but he has to relive his 18th birthday over and over and over again, which is so unique to me, because I don't ever see that. I can't wait. This is gonna be good, right? This is gonna be so good. Okay, next one is Charms, and yeah, that's part of the Orange Tree. And then the next one for that is Defense Against the Dark Arts, and that's the Red Scrolls of Magic. Yeah. And then the next required course that you must take is Potions, and that is to read the next book in a series, and I chose Song of the Dead by Sarah Glenn Marsh, which is the sequel/conclusion to the Reign of the Fallen duology. I really loved the first book, and I can't wait to move on and finish up this series, or this duology. Okay, I love the first book a lot. This has to do with necromancers, and there's also, like, beast magic, so there's, like, beasts in this. The first one had this bear that was so cute. His name was Lysander, and he was so cute. This one has a pet dragon. That's all I needed. There's a baby dragon in this, and I love dragons so much. I can't wait. And it has a female-female romance. I am killing it with all the queerness that I'm reading. I'm just saying. Part of the Orange Tree, Song of the Dead, both female-female romances. The Wicker King, I'm currently reading. That's a male-male romance. So far, I think that's it. But still, I know there was more. But yeah, I really do like, I like queer. I like reading queer relationships. And I can't wait to keep going. Okay. Transfiguration is the last required course you must take before choosing 3 more. And that is, yeah, Transfiguration. To read a book with sprayed edges or a red cover if you don't have sprayed edges. And I don't have sprayed edges that I haven't read yet, because Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom I've already read and I loved so much. And I thought about picking Six of Crows back up, but I kind of want to reread the Grisha trilogy again. Don't know why, because I didn't love it. But, yeah. So I'm not picking those back up yet. So I decided to just go with the red cover, and that would be Crown of Feathers by Nikki Palprita. Please tell me that's how I say the name. I have no clue. But this is about Phoenix Riders, and about a girl who has to disguise herself as a boy to become a Phoenix Rider. Thank you. That's all I needed. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so good. Oh my god. I'm just living my best life with all these fantasies. I'm not kidding. Okay, now for the 3 you must choose. I chose Muggle Studies for my first, and that's to read a contemporary. I chose Jack of Hearts and Other Parts by Elsie Rosen. All I know is that this is very sex positive. It's about a boy, Jack, who's unapologetically queer. Hello. He starts writing a teen sex advice column for an online site, and begins to receive creepy and threatening love letters that attempt to force Jack to curb his sexuality and personality. We'll see how this goes. But I've heard some really fantastic things about this, and I've been really wanting to read this, so I'm really excited to pick this up. Alright, History of Magic was the next one I chose. That would be Warrior Rising. We know that. And then lastly, Ancient Ruins was the final one I chose. It was the final course that I haven't talked about yet. And that is to read a retelling. Curse of Dark and Lonely works for that, but I decided to go with The Blood Spell by C.J. Redwine. This is the final book in the Ravenspire series, quartet, however you want to call it. This is a retelling of Cinderella. This could be very good. I have loved this entire series so far, and to find out this is the finale, it just hurts. It just hurts. I will say my favorite is still The Shadow Queen, which is the first book, and that was a Snow White retelling, which is funny because I hate Snow White. Just saying. Look at that beauty. But yeah, so it's still my favorite because if you haven't guessed, it had dragons. I love dragons so much. If this has dragons in it, I will love it. I will love it. There's a dangerous monster. Could that be a dragon? Please? I don't think it says it. But yeah, I'm really excited to pick this up. I love this series. It's really pretty. It's like a really nice feel to this. Oh my god, I could keep doing this forever. Okay, I'm gonna stop petting it now. Alright. Okay, so that was the O.W.L.S Magical Readathon. Those were all the books I chose for that. And that's not the only readathon. We still have one more readathon and we're almost done, believe me. Okay, so Fantasyathon is going from the 5th to the 15th of April. This is hosted by Maddie from the Book Pusher, Julie from Pages and Pens, which is how I heard about it, and Allie from Allie Corvier, I think, maybe. Julie did Contemporary-a-thon a couple months ago, and this is the opposite end of the spectrum, which is Fantasyathon. It's the same thing, just it's fantasy and not contemporary. So the prompts for this, of course, they're all fantasy-based, is the first one is to read a diverse fantasy, and I chose A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir, just the sequel to, what's it called? The sequel to An Ember in the Ashes. Yeah, Poking It, and that's how I remember. This is very diverse, as you can see from the cover. Sabaa Tahir herself is diverse, and yeah. I need to read this. I would very much like to read this. I know this is on my 12 to read of the year, and I am killing that list. I'm not kidding. I made the best decision to make a list based on books that I just wanted to read. Instead of picking books that have been on my shelves forever, and I just really feel that I need to get to them just because they've been on there for so long and I haven't really been wanting to pick them up and this will make me want to pick them up. No, I decided to quit doing that for the last couple years because I've never made it, and just pick books that I want to read. Guys, I've been reading like 3 or 4 a month. This is great, okay? And yeah, I think I'm almost done. I'll talk more about it in my March wrap up, but I think, yeah. This is on there, I believe. Here, do I have it? No. It's not in this notebook. But yeah, I need to read it. It's the sequel to An Ember in the Ashes, and I've been really meaning to get to this, so it's gonna happen. Okay. Next one is a debut debut fantasy or a backlist title. Now, I don't know if this is debut. I've never heard of this author before. It doesn't say if she's written anything other than this. It doesn't even say if it's debut, though. But if this is debut, I could do that. If not, this works, too. I've already decided to read both of these, so this works. You see how this goes? This is backlist. This came out, what, 2017? 2016. This works. Anything 2018 or before is backlist. So, debut, maybe. Backlist, if not. start a new series or continuation. This could work for that, or also continuation, starting a new series. One of these is continuation, that's fine. Starting a new series, that's a duology. Where's, found it. No, wait, this is standalone. That's not the one I was looking for. I thought I found it. Here it is. Yeah, this one is, you know, a new continuation. So, starting a new series, maybe. I don't know if I read this before. Have I read this? I have no clue. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. It's fine. Okay, next up, to read a Hype Train fantasy. This is technically Hype Train, right? I mean, I think this is Hype Train. If not, this is for sure Hype Train. Okay? Everybody and their mother is reading this. Hype Train. Of course. Pick up one you started and put down. As you can see, I put this down. That works. And then read a genre or format you don't normally read. I don't know if this counts, but I'm choosing Power of the Orange Tree because I don't normally pick up adult fantasy. I'm like very hesitant to pick it up. I do love adult fantasy, but I don't pick it up normally. Like, I feel very apprehensive about picking it up, so, I mean, it's big. What? It's a chunker. I'm choosing it. Adult fantasy is the genre I'm going with. I'm choosing this. And then the last one is to just treat yourself and immerse yourself in the world of a fantasy book you choose. Just give it to me. Just give it to me. I think I can immerse myself in this. But if not, hello? How you doing? I can immerse myself in anything. Alright, that is it. That is everything. Yeah, I'm done. I am so done. That was my entire TBR. I was hoping it wouldn't take as long as it did, but it definitely did. I had a lot to talk about. What do you want? You know, I just had a lot to talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are participating in the O.W.L.S Magic Readathon or Fantasyathon, let me know. If you want to participate in this, or in either of the readathons, and you just found out from me, let me know. That would be awesome. We could talk about it. I will leave the links down below for both of the announcement videos, you know, from both readathons and both hosts. Again, for Fantasyathon, I knew from Julie over Pages and Pens. She's the only one I follow out of the three, and I love her so much. So, okay, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again with another video. Bye. Happy reading.